Yes.
That the office of the sheriff should not now issue receipts, manual receipts.
Manual receipt, because even that was confirmed by the then accountant who was even there, that they are no longer receiving, because then at the time they were even making cash payments directly in bulk amounts. I understand. I was not there in the time.
To the sheriff.
Yes.
Now, please provide more clarity for me. On the sale ground, the bailiff is going to, we're speaking now during your time as sheriff.
Yes.
The bailiff is going to receive bids, and once the bidding is closed, the highest bidder is identified, and the price is announced that this is what this particular item is going for. The bailiff cannot accept payments on the sale ground. Can he or she?
He can.
He can accept the cash.
Cash payment.
But cannot issue a receipt.
No.
A formal receipt.
A formal receipt he cannot issue.
Okay, so what does the bailiff issue to the bidder, to the highest bidder?
Except in this particular circumstance, the sale of the livestock, the practice is the bidder either would carry the bidder will pay to this, depending on the amounts being paid. If it's a huge sum, it's not acceptable for, it's risky, it would be a big risk for the bailiff even to accept the amount, the payment from the bidder at that spot, because if there is any difficulty or an accounting for the amount, it will be liable. So in most cases, in bulk payment, he would direct or follow lead the bidder to the bank to effect the payment there. So where the amount is not yet large, he can accept, and subject to the convenience of the bidder, he can follow him directly to the bank to effect the payment in his presence. Sometimes they come with the amount, if it is not huge, and hand it over to the accountant. The accountant will now follow the amount for that paid to the designated bank account.
What amount is deemed huge, or what amount is not deemed huge?
We do not have a particular guideline as to what I deem to be at the time of my tenure, but any amount in excess of 100,000 from a single bidder, for me that would be huge. It would be risky for the bidder, for the bailiff to accept it at your own risk.
Okay. Let's go to the sale of the cattle.
Yes.
Actually, before we do, you've mentioned that no formal receipts, manual receipts to be issued at the point of sale, but when you conducted sale of this livestock, you issued handwritten notes. I would, at least in my opinion, I think a receipt is actually more convincing or even better than a handwritten note. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, in an ideal situation, yes. That would be the best thing to do.
Okay, so why was this method not adopted for the sale of the livestock?
I recall the place was very, very chaotic, and we necessitating us to have a full truck of paramilitaries to escort us on a daily basis, and it was in an open space. That's why we had some of these security officers assisting us. The place was chaotic and there was no order. If this was well organized, ordinarily we would have carried along the bailiff, sorry, the accountant to the ground. But carrying, I thought about that, but there are other transactions or other enforcement at the office, and he has a lot on his table at the time. There is only one bailiff, accountant attached to the sheriff's office at the time.
When you say it was very chaotic, where exactly? Where did all the sales take place on at one location?
No.
Okay, so which location are you referring to as well?
The one I thought I attended specifically in Kanilai.
In Kanilai.
Yeah.
You were stating that the sale was chaotic, or the grounds were chaotic, but the sheriff was supposed to organize the sale.
Yes.
Conduct the sale.
Yes.
So didn't that also involve making sure that the grounds of sale was very conducive for the office of the sheriff and its staff to carry out their functions or carry out their mandate there efficiently?
Yes.
Wasn't the sheriff supposed to ensure that everything was stable?
That would be the ideal in ideal circumstance. That would be the best thing to do. But in this case, sometimes accessing the ground of sale, it has to be coordinated by Ali Jallo. We are not even in touch with I am not in touch with any of the people in custody or in care of those cattle at the time. It was Mr. Jallo who would facilitate, communicate with them and arrange, because it's not, it was held at intervals, intermittently, not at once. Because it would require the army officers in charge to go around the ground, because they say the ground is very large, huge, so they have to look around, because most of the cattle were scattered, according to the source information we had. So we have to give them notice when we intend to go there to enable them to gather the cattle.
I am now very concerned, because when I brought up the issue of advertisement for the sale,
yes,
you said you did not want to notify the owner and those that were in custody of the animal,
yeah,
to make them aware that the cattle is about to be sold. But now you're also saying that before going, you are calling to tell them, oh, we're coming.
I'm not the one calling, I'm saying.
Yes, but these calls are being made by another person,
yes,
but with your approval, isn't it? As the sheriff.
Yes.
You are approving Ali Jallo to call Kanilai and say that the sheriff is coming with his team to sell or conduct an auction,
yes,
of the cattle. But you also said earlier, before we went on break, that you did not want to, you did not advertise, or you did not think it was, safe to advertise the sale, because those in control or those that were taking care of these animals would now be aware and maybe do something or try to take some of the animals away. So now, doesn't the keeping the sale as a secret, isn't it now defeated by having Ali Jallo contact the farm or the security personnel at Kanilai, telling them that the sheriff is coming on this particular day to conduct sale?
Yes, in hindsight, I accept that could be also lead to the people in charge of the cattle, put them on notice. Just like I said before, I accept that could have been, but in hindsight, I did not thought, or it not occurred to me at the time that, because Ali, as the Registrar General, was the receiver, he might have been familiar with the sites or the people who are on the ground.
Justice Tabally,
Yes.
before the sale was conducted, didn't you or your team at least try to visit the locations, the various locations where the cattle or the livestock was being kept, so that when it was time for the sale to be conducted, the office of the sheriff can be independent and sell or dispose of these livestock totally without any interference or without the involvement of any other person or institution that the court order did not mention.
Ideally, that would have been the best thing to do, but in these circumstances, you know, even to facilitate the transportation of the sheriff, at whose expense is the state. They are not willing, they have not even our own movement to the site at the time. Going back and forth, they are not, it's at the expense of the officers in conducting the sales. So the Attorney General's chamber did not even pay a dime to facilitate our movement. So going back and forth, at whose expense was it? I remember at the time I had to make a specific request to the JS for allocation of fuel to me and my staffs. But at some point he was reluctant. He said he cannot continue because all executions are done at the expense of the applicant or the judgment creditor.
Okay, so why was this situation different?
We made the specific request, even concerning the
Question.
I think I wrote a letter forwarded to Alujalo for the ministry, but they have not responded to.
Who did you submit the letter to?
I think it's addressed to the Solicitor General at the time.
And was submitted to the Solicitor General?
Yes.
And the Solicitor General never responded to the letter?
Never responded.
Did you make follow-ups?
No.
Do you have a copy of this letter?
No, I did not.
You did not keep a copy of this letter?
I did not, because when I exited the sheriff's office, I did not carry anything along with me.
But you've stated that there is a file.
Yes.
That every time the office of the sheriff is tasked or to conduct sale or execute an order or a judgment of the court, a file will be opened with the name of the suit and also bearing the suit number.
Yes.
So I would expect that any correspondence that is related to said suit would be in this file, isn't it?
It should have been in the file. I don't know whether it's there or not. I did not specifically request for this particular correspondence because.
Okay.
Yeah.
Justice Tabally, today
Yes.
we inspected the said file
Yes.
that is associated or was opened for this particular suit and all transactions therein.
Yes.
And we did not see, it was brought, the file was brought to the assembly by the current sheriff, and it was inspected by even me personally, and I did not see any correspondence from you to the Solicitor General or to any other person with regards to logistics surrounding the sale.
It may not have been there, but I vividly remember I wrote this letter because it is in our interest to be able to carry out this function, for them to pay to facilitate our transportation. Mr. Jallo can bear me witness. He followed me to ensure that at the time for the Solicitor General to react to our request, because at some point we were a bit reluctant to even to further continue with the.
Why would the Office of the Sheriff write to the Solicitor General to request for logistics when there's a court order directing the Office of the Sheriff to execute sale? If the Office of the Sheriff is facing any difficulties, wouldn't the best course of action be to appear before the court that issued the order to ask for variation of the order, maybe to include that the Office of the Sheriff can conduct the sale and from the proceeds of sale deduct the expenses that it had incurred?
From the proceeds of the sale.
Yes, perhaps they did not occur to you rather than writing, because you are acting in executing your functions with regards to the sale. It's pursuant to an order of a court,
yes,
not pursuant to a directive or a request or a letter from the Solicitor General. So for me, anything that is any issue or any problem that the Office of the Sheriff faces, then the Office of the Sheriff should fall back to the court rather than to go outside of the judiciary to try to find a solution.
I said this because the usual practice in all execution is borne at the expense of the applicant or the judgment creditor. We follow that line of practice. That's why in this case, and the judiciary have not allocated any specific fund with regard to fuel for transportation of bailiffs to carry out executions on various sites. There is no specific fund.
Okay, so after you wrote to the applicant to request for logistics and support,
yeah,
to carry out to execute the order, and there was no response, didn't you think it was necessary to go back to the court perhaps and say the judgment creditor, or in this case the applicant being the Attorney General, has not paid for the execution of this order, therefore can the court make an order for directing the Attorney General to pay for the expenses that the Office of the Sheriff will incur, or at least maybe ask the court to make an order to state that after the sale, the Office of the Sheriff can deduct the expenses it incurred from the proceeds of sale?
That would be an unusual application in that the sheriff one is not a party to the suit, suit. And I have never recalled an incident where I have to go back to court to ask for court order of court for a party to pay costs as expenses for an execution.
Okay. Has the Office of the Sheriff ever executed orders or judgments for the state?
The only instance I recall is a case of Copri. That is, I think, Keystone Bank versus Copri Construction. But even at that, the central bank, they borne the expenses incurred in enforcing that judgment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Office of the Sheriff has never faced a situation where it is supposed to execute.
Sorry, the only other one is in the case of Kanadi Minerals, where the Attorney General's chambers carried the bailiffs to the site in Sanya.
So the Attorney General
Yeah.
was the one that did the transportation.
Yeah.
All right, we will come back to this point of going back to the court. Please go to paragraph 5 of your statement.
Yes.
The first sentence of paragraph 5 states, Mr. Ali Jallo, the then acting registrar of companies, facilitated the movement of the sheriff to the various sites where the cattle are.
Yes, in this sense, I've been facilitated just to lead us to these sites, but not necessary to pay for any transportation for any of us. He carried some of the bailiffs in his own car. I recall that.
Okay. By the way, how many members of staff of the Office of the Sheriff took part in this entire sale?
I recall the deputy sheriff, the then deputy sheriff.
Okay.
Musa Sise,
Sorry, what's the name of the then deputy sheriff?
Sidi Fati,
You can continue.
Sidi Fati, Musa Sise, Alu Sise, Alaji Gassama. And myself.
So five people. Sorry, 6 including you.
Yes.
Okay, 6 people from the office of the sheriff took part in the sale. And these are the people that needed to be transported.
In my statement, is an error here. I repeated Alusise twice. It's the same Alusise.
Okay, so the people that were involved in the sales was the deputy sheriff, Sidi Fati, Aliou Cisse, Modou Moussa Cisse, and Alaji Kasama.
Yes.
And yourself.
Yes.
Making it 5 people from the office of the sheriff.
Yes.
These are the 5 people that needed transportation.
Yes. Because at the time, my office, there is no official vehicle attached to the sheriff's office.
Okay. So after the sales, or before the sales, that is when you were faced with issues of fuel and logistics.
Yeah.
And before the sales, you wrote to the Solicitor General, rather.
It's not even before, during the sales.
During the sales.
Yeah.
How many days did it take the office of the sheriff to sell all the livestock?
I can't remember, but the sales that they conducted around this end only took, I think, 2 or 3 days. I joined them on the 4th day in Kanilai.
Okay, so 3 days for the livestock around this end. When you say around this end, which?
I mean
exactly.
Bangulinding and Farato.
Okay, so it took 3 days.
2 days.
2 days for the sales to be completed in Banjulinding and Farato.
Farato, yeah.
And on the 3rd day,
yeah,
you joined them in Kanilai.
And the 4th day.
4th day.
Yeah.
So it took 4 days.
Yeah.
For the entire sale.
No, not the entire sale. Kanilai took about more than, because Kanilai, when we started, we had a break. That is to allow the more cattle to be found and then gathered together, because the cattle were all scattered according to the bailiffs, the army officers in charge of the cattle on site. So we were unable to locate all the cattle that they said they were available. So we have to give them the ground is very big, and the cattle have gone for grazing. Before they could locate all of them, it took time. So we have been there at least 2, 3, or 4 times.
Wasn't the office of the sheriff supposed to identify and confirm the number of livestock and just visit the grounds to see how best it was to carry out its activities?
Like I said before, the challenges we have is one of issue of, we don't even have this in our custody. We believe we were moving with the receiver who had earlier been to the site and was familiar with the area. He led us to this area. So we have challenges to be going around to take stock of this thing, and then further way. In an ideal auction situation, that would have been the idea. But these are livestock. Like I said, I have never conducted a sale concerning livestock in my entire tenure at the sheriff.
All right. You stated that you joined the sales on the 3rd day. Then on paragraph 5 of your statement, it says, I resumed work on the 4th day and attended the latter auction sale. So can you just provide clarity so that we can move on to other issues?
What I meant by that is, like I was briefed, I did not attend the initial sales at the time. So I joined them on the fourth day. What I meant is not to resume work, not necessarily I joined them on the fourth day at the latter sale. That's the latter sales in Kanilai.
Okay, so you said earlier that the sales in Farato and the sales in Banjulinding, it took just 2 days.
Yeah.
And on the third day was the beginning of sales in Kanilai.
I did not attend the first day sales in Kanilai.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it took 2 days to complete sales in Banjulinding and Farato.
Yeah.
And then on the third day, sales commenced in Kanilai.
Kanilai.
But for you were present for the second day.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Before we move any further, you mentioned that Ali Jallow was the receiver as Registrar General. Kindly take a look at the order of the High Court issued on the 22nd day of May, 2017. Honorable Chair, it is marked as it's MOJ 5A, is of reference. Yes, but in the witnesses' submissions, it is marked T as SBT 3. SBT 3 or MOJ 5A?
Yes. I've seen it.
Let's just give the committee a little time to get their copy. Honorable Chair, has the committee been able to find? Okay, all right. Justice Tabally, please take a look at the second page of the order of the High Court dated 22nd May 2017. Take a look at paragraph 4. Kindly read it out, please.
All the livestock held by or in possession of, control of the respondent, his servant, agent, associates, and family members, or otherwise, howsoever, be and are hereby seized pursuant to this order, and are to be kept under the custody and control of the Gambian Livestock Marketing Agency, GMLA, pending the conclusion of investigation initiated by the Attorney General.
Very well, Justice Tabally. Therefore, this paragraph, it shows that Ali Jallow was not the receiver for the livestock, doesn't it?
No, he is not.
He is not.
No.
So,
by this part.
Exactly, and you were, I'd say you were very au fait with this order by January 2018, considering you received notice of this order as soon as it was delivered by the High Court, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So you even issued 2 notices, or your office issued 2 notices pursuant to this order.
Yes.
So here I can say that you were familiar with this order, isn't it?
I have seen it already. I wouldn't say I am familiar with the contents.
You saw it, you read it.
Yes.
And you were not reading this order, or you did not read this order as a layperson. You read it with a lawyer, as a lawyer that had many, many years of standing at the bar. And you had served as a magistrate, and now you were serving as the sheriff. You had time to read this order and issue 2 different notices. And now a subsequent order was issued by the High Court that specifically says that the sheriff should conduct the sale of the livestock and should be assisted by the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency, which you failed to ensure that happened. But to also just assume that Aliu Jallow was the receiver and have him so heavily involved in the entire transaction is very, very worrying for me.
It's erroneous on our part. I did not pay attention specifically as to the mandate of Aliu Jallow here when he's exited as Registrar General, a receiver at the time. I did not pay attention.
Why did you not pay attention to that? Was it not important for you?
It was.
Considering the order of 3rd January 2018, who actually also mentions the order of the 22nd of May 2017. So weren't you also supposed to go back, revisit the order of the 22nd of May 2017?
In hindsight, I would have done that, but I don't know. It did not occur to me that at the time Aliu Jallow was no longer the receiver at the time.
Aliu Jallow was never the receiver. How did he come into the picture? How did he come in to be involved in all of the transactions that took place after the High Court delivered its order on the 3rd of January 2018?
It's a responsibility on all of us, and Mr. Jallow as well, to ensure, because it concerns him that he's no longer the receiver. Like I said, it was an error on my part. I did not pay specific attention to when his mandate as receiver has elapsed or ended by virtue of this order.
His role as receiver did not end.
Yeah.
He was not the receiver.
Okay.
For the livestock.
For the livestock.
He never was the receiver for the livestock. You can take a look at paragraph 4 of that order again.
Yes, okay. I agree.
Yes, he's not. So I'm in agreement with you that it was a big error on your part.
Yes.
My issue here is that you're saying it was a responsibility on all our part, but there's nowhere in where the court mentions in its order of 3rd January 2018, where it says that this office of the Attorney General or the Attorney General's chambers or any of its officials are supposed to take part in it. The order mentions 2 offices or 2 institutions, I'd say, the Office of the Sheriff and the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency. So for me, I don't understand why Aliu Jallow was allowed to come into the fold and to be serving as a pointer, or not just serving as a pointer, be present at the sales and just taking part in this. He's heavily involved in all of this, when the court makes no mention of the Registrar General.
Yes, I agree. He's involved when because my general assumption was, as receiver of the other assets, I thought at the time maybe it includes the livestock, hence is even presenting the order to our office for enforcement.
This transaction did not require or did not leave room. The order of the court that brought about this entire transaction did not leave any room for the office of the sheriff to have the leeway or have the liberty to be assisted by any other person or any other institution other than the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency.
I agree by provision of the order.
So how did Ali Jallo come to join the office of the sheriff in this transaction? On whose instructions was he acting on? Who initiated contact? Were you the one that contacted Ali Jallo, or was he the one that contacted you?
He was the one who contacted me. I was, like I said, I was off work at the time. He came with the order to the office and presented to the office. He called me and I said, I am not at work, but go there, they will do the needful. So I would, until the time the sale commenced, I did not see this particular order. This second order that seemed to giving the mandate to GMLA.
All right, so you were out of office, but at the time there was a deputy sheriff.
There was a deputy sheriff, yeah.
Where was the deputy sheriff? And what role did he play? Because you said he was present at the sale ground.
Yes, he was.
Wasn't the deputy sheriff in office at the time?
He was in office.
He was in office at the time, but the deputy sheriff, I believe, would ordinarily take over and lead the office of the sheriff in your absence, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so we can say that the deputy sheriff was around when you were absent.
Yes.
Okay, so deputy sheriff was at least supposed to read the order, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, so you can say the deputy sheriff knew the contents of the order.
Yes.
So the deputy sheriff was present when Ali Jallo came in and brought the order, and then you were contacted. By the way, when you say you were contacted when you were out of office, who called you? Were you called by the deputy sheriff? Were you called by the bailiffs in the office, the process servers?
I spoke to, I cannot remember which specific individual or officer called me, but I spoke to equally Ali Jallo, who initiated the call.
Ali Jallo called you on the phone?
On the phone.
What did Ali Jallo say to you when he called?
He said he had an order which requires an immediate action. So it's for sale of livestock. But I said I am not in the office, but go to the office. The office, my staffs are there. They would assist you in do they do the needful to carry out implement the order.
Okay, and when Ali Jallo contacted you and you asked him to go, you told him go to the office.
He was already in the office.
Oh, he was already in the office when he was calling you.
Yeah, yeah.
Very well. Did Ali Jallo inform you on what basis he went to the office of the sheriff with this order?
No, he did not inform me. I thought at the time he was acting in his capacity as receiver, generally, which may have included this livestock at the time.
But you did not, in your conversation with him, you did not try to confirm, or you did not confirm whether he was acting in his capacity as receiver or when he was acting.
I did not.
You did not.
I did not.
You did not also try to find out whether he was at the office of the sheriff on anyone else's instruction.
I did not verify any of them.
Were you not concerned? Were you not concerned about?
At the time, but subsequently, after all these issues came out, and then I was concerned. But then that was after the event. I did not foresee But these are issues that are there already, that we need to pay attention to, is whether he should be involved or not. I did not pay attention to that at the time. But after subsequently, it became a concern, and I discussed with some of my staffs.
So when you say after issues that came about, what issues are you referring to, and when did these issues arise?
I mean, the issues whether Ali Jallow should have been a party or should be the one to be involved in the sale, because pursuant to the order, when I noticed that the livestock should have assisted, it, like I said, it was an error on my part.
Did you realize this prior to this committee writing to you, or did you realize this maybe a few months after the transaction, or a year, 2 years? When did you realize this issue?
It's not after the committee wrote to me. Subsequently, before I exited this office of the sheriff, one day I was reviewing all these issues, the file, then I came across certain things that in hindsight I should have paid attention to. We would have not have done.
So one random fateful day, you decided to pull out this file, going through it,
Yes.
and you saw issues.
Yes.
Just like that.
I ordinarily, I was going through my correspondence and other issues, then I came across this particular order from my lady was not ordinarily, at the time of the sale, was not even presented to me. I saw it subsequently, but it was not presented to me at the time of sale.
Sorry, what was not presented to you?
This particular order of my lady Justice at the time when it was issued, I was not.
Sorry, my lady issued 2 orders
Yes.
in this entire transaction. Which one of them are you referring to? She issued, the first order was issued on the 22nd of May,
Yes.
2017, and the second one was 21st of July, 2017. Which one of them are you referring to?
The latter one.
You can take a look.
Yeah, the latter one. I think. In fact, I saw both of them, but at the same time, but my attention, my focus was on the one that concerns the sheriff's office. That is the one ordering the sale to the sheriff to conduct the sale. But specifically, whether this one particular one, this clause dealing with the livestock taking control. At the time, I did not pay my attention to that particular provision of the order.
You didn't pay attention to the order at the particular time. When you say particular time, which time are you
At the
referring
time of the sales.
to? You did not pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But you were aware and you've seen this order prior to that.
Yes, I admitted that before. I admitted that.
Okay, so why is it that you did not pay attention to that?
No, I mean the particular provision of the that's is it 4 of the
Paragraph 4?
4 of the order.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you not only did you not read the order of the High Court issued on the 3rd day of January 2018, you also failed to take a look at the order of the High Court issued by Justice A.S. Saho.
Yes.
Sorry, A. Saho Cisse on the 22nd of May 2017.
Yes. They were.
Is this normal practice for the Office of the Sheriff to execute orders without taking a look at them?
No, the one that we are executing here, is the one of the 3rd of January 2018.
Which makes reference to the order of 22nd May 2017 in its second paragraph. You can take a look.
Yes, I've seen.
You've seen it?
Yes, meeting.
Okay. Second paragraph refers to that. And then in the orders as well, on the second page of the entire ruling, second paragraph again mentions the order issued by the High Court on 22nd May, meaning twice. This order was referred to twice by the late Justice B. Jawa of blessed memory. He referred to it twice, so therefore the Office of the Sheriff cannot in any way, shape, or form lose sight of the contents of the order of 22nd May 2017.
Yes. We should have paid attention. I should have paid attention to this particular provision of the order.
Did you perhaps, in the time you were delegating the work to Deputy Sheriff and the other staff of the Office of the Sheriff, did you perhaps ask them to take a look at the order, read the order of the High Court, considering the order was brought to the office by Mr. Jallo?
That is even if I did not ask them, that is the usual practice. That they are ought to know the contents of the order before enforcing any order. That's the practice, and that's the way to do it. About it.
That is the way to do it, or the way to go about it. But unfortunately, from all indications, it seems the Office of the Sheriff did not do any of the things it was supposed to do. Justice Tabally, from the look of things, it looks like the Office of the Sheriff was either reluctant to carry out the order of the High Court, to execute the order of the High Court, or the Office of the Sheriff was just being, can I say, negligent in executing the order of the High Court. Because there's a lot of oversight.
We could have been.
There's a lot of, the Office of the Sheriff is allowed for a lot of interference. There's a lot of issues, and we've not even talked about the sale proper. And just in preparation of the sale, there are so many issues, so many problems.
We could have been more, we should have been more diligent in the way we carried or execution of this order.
All right. Let's move to another issue. You've stated here that each time the Office of the Sheriff is to conduct sale, there is a valuation report that the sheriff would have, and sometimes even the bailiff would have. Is it normal for the bailiff to also see a copy of the valuation report?
No, maybe I said if the bailiff, if he is privy to the valuation, I don't know, I did not say.
Okay, so is the bailiff supposed to be privy to the valuation report?
No.
All right. In this instance, the office of the sheriff did not conduct a valuation
No.
exercise, as it was supposed to do with the assistance of the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency. How then did the office of the sheriff conduct the sales of these livestock without an evaluation report? How was the sale or the auction conducted then?
Like I said in my statement,
Sorry, please continue.
like I said in my statement, I understand somebody was on the ground trying to assist to.
Sorry, you said who was on the ground?
Somebody was on the ground at the I don't know whether at the invitation of MOJ. At first, my first impression was he was there at the instance of this Gambia Livestock Marketing Board, even though we did not contact them. But when he was on the ground, I knew about it. I found him there. So he was even assisting assigning values to cows, cattle.
Why would you assume that this person is from the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency, considering that the office of the sheriff did not ensure the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency received a copy of the order or contacted the agency at any point with regard to this transaction? Why would you assume that he was from the agency?
I said I assume, but after my own findings subsequently, recently, I came to realize that he was not even from the Gambia Livestock Marketing.
All right. So when you say you found out recently, how recent is this?
It must have been about a month ago or so, 2 months ago.
So, as sheriff,
Yes.
you were supposed to conduct a sale, but the order that the High Court issued, through which you were supposed to conduct a sale, stated that you were supposed to first carry out a valuation exercise with the support of the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency, and you failed to do this. You still proceeded to sell the livestock against the order of the court. Now you go on the ground and you find a random person placing value on the livestock before it is being sold, and you did not put a stop to this or even try to put a stop to it.
No, like I said, when I joined the team on the 4th day, I found him there, but he was of use to us because we don't know, we have no expertise in value of cattle. Myself in particular, I don't know anything about cattle.
So you believed he was useful, but how did you measure that usefulness?
Because at the time, if an offer is made, whether it is commensurate with a value in his estimation, he would inform us that this is an offer to be accepted on.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat that?
I said at the time, if a bid is made, he would advise us to accept because it's a reasonable offer, considering the subject of sale at the time of bid or the bid that he had bidded for.
Okay. So the current sheriff
Yes.
testified this morning. He took this committee through the process of sale.
Yes.
He had informed this committee that where a sale is supposed to take place, there is always a valuation report, which the bailiff is not privy to. The bailiff will not see the valuation report before the sale. However, when the when the bidding is taking place, there's a start bid, right?
Yes.
So on this day that you were present in Kanilai at the livestock sale, what was generally the starting bid for the livestock?
Now, like the bids were received, some of the majority of the cattle there, they were calves. So you cannot sell that in the absence of either the bigger ones. So you have to mix them up. Sometimes some of them are mixed together. So we do not, I cannot recall putting a starting bid or a highest bid, but the bidders there make an offer for a bid. If it is acceptable, then we ask them to proceed to effect payment.
You mean if it was acceptable to that individual that was present on the ground?
No, by the sheriff's office.
But how would a bid there be acceptable to the office of the sheriff if the office of the sheriff, one, did not have a valuation report, but also was relying on the usefulness of this particular individual?
Can you come again?
I'm saying,
yes.
You're saying that the bid was being made, but no basis. And he said if a price that is acceptable by the sheriff. I'm saying now, you've stated that the office of the sheriff did not have the expertise to value or conduct a valuation exercise for livestock. The office of the sheriff did not have a valuation report to rely on. How then was the office of the sheriff able to determine what was a good price for the livestock?
We rely on the advice of the person on the ground as well as Mr. Jallo. Both of them.
Mr. Jallo, as in Mr. Aliu Jallo, the Registrar General at the time.
Yeah.
This person you keep referring to, person on the ground, what is his name?
Mr. Kora. I don't know his first name, but I know him, Mr. Kora.
Is it perhaps Mr. Amadou Kora? Would that name ring a bell?
Yes.
Mr. Amadou Kora.
Amadou Kora.
That's it. Thank you very much. You mentioned that you were relying on Mr. Amadou Kora and Mr. Aliu Jallo.
Yeah.
Did Mr. Aliu Jallo have any expertise or the capacity to be able to value livestock?
I'm not sure about that.
You're not sure, but you relied on him.
Yeah, we rely on him. Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever try to find out whether Mr. Amadou Kora had any expertise or the capacity to value livestock?
Like I said before, at first I thought he was there at the instance of the Gambia Livestock or on the invitation of Ministry of Justice.
And you did not confirm?
No, I did not confirm there, definitely.
So was Mr. Amadou Kora present throughout the sales of the livestock?
I'm not quite sure on the instances where I was not present, but on the few occasions that I was present in Kanila, I have visibly seen him there.
Okay, and he was there actively involved in the sale?
Yes.
You stated...
Assisting to place value on...
Okay, yeah. On the livestock. You stated that it is about a month ago that you realized or you learned that Mr. Amadou Kora was in fact not at the sale, at the sales ground from the invitation of the Ministry of Justice or even there on behalf of the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency.
Yes.
How did you learn about this?
I had a meeting at the invitation of the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice. We had a meeting there. Prior to
when
that,
was this meeting?
I can't recall the date, but it's
about a month ago.
No, it could have been more than a month ago because following this protest and the publication of those reports, then he called my attention to clarify certain things. I went to his office with his team. Before that, prior to that, I called in some of the bailiffs to gather some information from them. It was there that Modu Musa came on side. He said, he mentioned Mr. Amadou Kora, who came on the invitation of MOJ.
Okay. So when you were attending this meeting with Attorney General, did you attend this meeting alone or did somebody else accompany you?
I was called by the Judicial Secretary.
Okay.
Whilst I in the office in Brikama. So I came.
The current Judicial
Secretary. The current Judicial Secretary. So when I came, he told me it is the Attorney General who requests my presence. So I volunteered, I went to his office.
The current Attorney General?
The current Attorney General. He called my attention, he said I wanted clarification on certain things which I wanted to confirm, verify, and I called on some of the bailiffs who were with me to assist me. That is even when some of these documents were retrieved and given, presented to him. So there, I remember in that meeting, it was Musa who said that Amadou Kora was there to assist us, and he was there at the instance of the Ministry of Justice. Not livestock marketing.
Okay. This meeting, do you remember whether it was before you received a summons from this committee?
It was before I received the summons.
Okay. So you had...
It was well before even the establishment of this committee.
Okay. Thank you for that. Who else was present in this meeting you had with the Attorney General?
The current Registrar General.
That would be Mr. Colley?
Mr. Colley.
Okay.
And Mr. Njai.
Who is Mr. Njai?
Charles.
Charles
Njai. Sisi Njai, yeah.
Sisi Njai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who else?
And from my office, Modu Musa was there. From this sheriff's office, Modu Musa Njai.
Modu Musa was there.
He was there.
So
he was later invited to come.
Okay. So, but at the beginning of the meeting, he was not there.
He was not there.
Okay. So it was you, the current Attorney General,
yeah.
Sisi Njai,
yeah.
and the current Registrar General,
Yes,
and then eventually Mr. Modu Musa Sisi was invited to also join the meeting.
Yeah.
So these are the only 5 people that were present.
There was a lady, I can't remember, I don't know her, from the Ministry of Justice, I don't know.
Okay, there was a lady present.
Yeah, present.
All right. So so you're saying that you learned about Mr. Kora not being a member of staff of the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency and also not being sent by the Ministry of Justice at that meeting?
I learned about it even prior to, on my way to the meeting.
Okay.
I consulted Modu Musa for certain documents to take along.
Okay.
So there he informed me that Mr. Kora, this man who was there, he told me it's Amadou Kora, but he was invited by the minister. I said, when I went there, so the minister wants confirmation, then Modu Musa was invited to confirm that as well.
So Modu Musa told you that it is the Minister of Justice at the time,
yes,
that invited Mr. Amadou.
Not Ministry of Justice.
Ministry of Justice, yeah, invited, yeah, Mr. Amadou Kora.
Yes, yes.
Okay, but he did not tell you who from the Ministry of Justice invited Mr. Amadou Kora.
Specifically, no.
Okay, so what was discussed in this meeting apart from Mr. Amadou Kora?
Generally, I think prior to my meeting, he had a session with Aliou Jallow as well. So he told me that he called in Aliou Jallow, and then they discussed. He wanted confirmation on certain parts to clarify the role of the registrar and their role, the ministry's role in the sales of the.
Sorry, you said Aliou Jallow was at the meeting as well?
No. I said prior to my, he had.
He had already met with Aliou Jallow before. Okay, yeah, before you got there.
Yeah, all because right, whilst I was sitting, the minister, Attorney General, spoke to Aliou on phone in my presence. He said, when you came here, I had asked for certain things. Now, it came to light that Mr. Kora was, you failed to mention Mr. Kora's name in this meeting. That's why who invited Mr. Kora.
Okay, so in the Attorney General's conversation with Aliu Jallo.
Yes, I don't know what was Aliu's response.
Okay, but you were hearing the Attorney General's side of the conversation,
yes.
And he mentioned to Aliu Jallo that you failed to mention Mr. Amadou Kora's involvement in the sale.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So after the phone call the Attorney General had with Aliu Jallo, what else happened in that meeting? What was discussed?
Generally, that was all. He wanted to know how the sale was conducted, like we are discussing here, and then whether what is the traditional, conventional sale that sheriffs normally. I explained to him. He said it's okay. Then, if anything, then we'll liaise with you. I left. It was not a long meeting.
Oh, it was a short meeting.
Sorry, short.
Okay. So, you had mentioned that before going to the Attorney General, you were first at the High Court.
Yes.
And you spoke to the JS. You spoke to Mr. Modou Musa Sise.
Yes. Not specifically Modou Musa. I went pass by through the.
You passed by through the office of the sheriff.
Because I know when I was called, that I knew I was called in respect of this. I don't have any documents with me, so I wanted to guide myself, to take along some documents to guide me in my meeting, because I know the purpose of the meeting at the time.
Okay, so when you passed by the office of the sheriff, you were able to obtain documents?
Specifically,
the document that is in this file that is written.
Not all of them. On that day, I only picked. I remember the report that I authored for after the sale. Not all the documents.
Is that report you're referring to part of the documents you submitted?
Yes.
Okay. Can you just guide the committee through this report?
That is the report that I submitted to the. I submitted to the Attorney General, although it's not addressed to the Attorney General. It's in the form of a memo. Sorry, no, not a form of a memo. Where the returns of the sales and the numbers were. It's marked by SBT 5.
Okay. Dated 26 March 2018. This is the one that you copied and took to the Attorney General.
Yes.
Did you leave this copy with the Attorney General? Or did you just take it with you and then after the meeting you carried it away?
I remember I left him with some document, maybe including this.
Okay, you gave the Attorney General some document.
Yeah.
But these are all copies from the file.
Yes.
You did not give him any original in that file.
No.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Chair, I believe this is a convenient point for me to stop my questioning for today and then hand over the witness to the committee. Or it's all right. So if the committee is withholding its questions for now, we can adjourn to tomorrow. Correct? All right. At what time would the session commence tomorrow?
I think 10 o'clock in the morning will be okay for us to start. Tomorrow is Friday.
Yes.
So
all right.
We can finish on time.
Okay. Tomorrow 10 o'clock.
Yes. Yes. So is the witness going to be available tomorrow? Did you?
Justice Tabally.
Yes.
The committee is inviting you back to the assembly tomorrow at 10 o'clock for a continuation of your testimony. Is that fine?
I will have to reschedule my, but I will come.
All right. Thank you. Tomorrow 10 o'clock. We will start at 10 o'clock.
Mm.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tabally. You are released. Thank you. Meeting adjourned till tomorrow 10 o'clock. Thank you.